Are you looking for the best video cameras for sports? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best cameras on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Sony ZV-E10 II. If the Sony Alpha 6700S price is still too steep, consider the Sony ZV-E10 II instead. As part of Sony's vlogging lineup, it's more pared down and less versatile than the Alpha 6700, with no viewfinder, cheaper build quality, and no in-body image stabilization. However, given it has modern internal recording capabilities, like 10-bit 4:2:2 capture, this model offers a ton of bang for your buck. While it can only record regular video at up to 60 frames per second in 4K, it includes a slow motion mode that captures 4K at up to 120 frames per second. Though it falls behind cameras with stacked sensors, its rolling shutter performance isn't bad and marks an improvement over its predecessor, our budget pick below. Plus, its autofocus performs remarkably well in video, though its subject detection modes are more limited than the AI-driven AF on the Alpha 6700. The biggest drawback here is really the lack of built-in stabilization, but you can still get good results with an optically stabilized lens or gimbal if needed. At number 2. DJI Pocket 2. If you're looking for something ultra-portable and easy on the wallet, consider the DJI Pocket 2. It isn't just any pocket camera, it comes with a built-in 3-axis stabilized gimbal that lets you capture smooth handheld video. It's a great option if you want something lightweight but prefer to get right in the action, as you can keep up with your subjects and still get buttery smooth footage. On top of that, it has an active tracking feature that can automatically follow a subject as they move around. You get up to 60 frames per second in 4K, and there's a dedicated slow motion mode in 1080p for super slow motion shots. On top of that, it has no recording time limit and a solid battery life. Because it's a small sensor camera, you won't get amazing video quality compared to the higher-end options mentioned above. The newer DJI Pocket 3 offers significant improvements, including a larger screen and larger sensor, but it's also much more expensive. Ultimately, if you want an all-in-one camera and gimbal and that won't break the bank, the Pocket 2 is still worth considering. At number 3. Sony Alpha 6700. If the Fujifilm X-H2S sounds like overkill, the Sony Alpha 6700 is a fantastic mid-range hybrid camera. It's one of the few cameras, let alone at this price, to offer 4K video recording at 120 frames per second. Shooting at 120 frames per second incurs a crop, but it's still very useful for those who want to capture high-resolution, high frame rate action footage or slow motion. The camera also has a great battery life, a fully articulated screen, and one of the best autofocus systems on the market, ensuring you rarely miss focus, even with more erratic subjects. However, it doesn't have a stack sensor like the Fujifilm, so you'll get more rolling shutter distortion with panning shots. If you want the option to record in 6.2K resolution or output raw video to an external recorder, the Fujifilm X-H2S is another great choice at this price point. However, unlike the Sony, it's capped at 60 frames per second in 4K. This is still great for capturing high-speed footage and slowing things down a bit, but it'll be harder to generate super slow motion clips in 4K. Its autofocus system is also a tad less reliable than the Sony cameras. At number 4. Fujifilm X-H2S. Of the cameras we've tested, the Fujifilm X-H2S is the best camera for sports videography. This flagship model has an excellent stack sensor that keeps rolling shutter distortion to a minimum, making it ideal for sweeping panning shots and fast action. The camera also has plenty of frame rate and resolution options, with 6.2K video recording at up to 30 frames per second and uncropped 4K at up to 60 frames per second. It also has a dedicated slow motion recording mode that records 4K at up to 120 frames per second, making this a super versatile camera for high-res action footage. Beyond that, you get internal 10-bit 4:2:2 recording, Apple ProRes codecs for higher quality video files, and raw video output to a compatible external recorder if you need more advanced filmmaking features. Plus, it has an excellent in-body image stabilization (IBIS) system to reduce camera shake when shooting handheld and an excellent battery life. All that to say, this is a seriously capable video camera for more advanced videographers. At number 5. Sony ZV-E10. the Sony ZV-E10 is our top budget pick. Though it's aimed primarily at vloggers, it also makes for a great general video camera for videographers on a tighter budget. Like the newer Sony ZV-E10 II, there's no viewfinder, and you're still missing IBIS here, meaning you'll need to rely on optically stabilized lenses to get smoother footage when shooting handheld. However, if those aren't deal breakers, you'll find a lot to love with this camera. At the top of the list is its fantastic autofocus system. Sony cameras are known for their quick and accurate AF systems, and the ZV-E10 is no exception. It has a fully articulated screen to help shoot at different angles, a good battery life, and no recording time limit. Frame rates are more limited compared to high-end options, but it can still record 4K video at 30 frames per second, with a slight crop, and 1080p video at up to 120 frames per second if you want to slow down the action. All in all, this is the best camera for sports videography at this price point.